So good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Why your voice like sad a bit?
Is it?
I was thinking.
No, I'm
So
okay.
okay, good. And so how was a difficult exercise?
Actually, my Friday was full, so I didn't have time to do it.
To eat? Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see then. What should we do? Um, would you like to do it next time, or would you
Yeah,
like us to
I
try
can do
here?
it. I think it's instead of wasting time on the homework, I can just do it myself, and then here we can move on to something new.
Okay. Yeah. Good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see. What should we complete now? Okay. So since our focus is actually on programming and not on the mathematical side, so just let me give you a fast overview about complex number. Do you know complex numbers?
Yeah.
You know about it, right? You know the real
Yeah.
part and the imaginary part.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about operations, addition and subtraction?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't need to explain about that.
No.
Okay, multiplication or you know.
Yeah. Should be. Yeah. A C B D then E D E C. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know how to do a conjugate. Actually, it's quite easy. Just this addition is changed to subtraction, and the magnitude is like that. And
Yeah.
all this can be done with a math.sqrt.
Yeah.
Okay, okay,
Yeah.
that's then good. Okay, let me then move to. Mhm. Uh, give me a second. Yeah. So we talked before about array, but we only talk about string arrays. Um, may I understand from you, why do you think we ever need arrays? Did you still
Um,
remember the term array that we took it um, 2 classes ago?
Array.
Uh-huh.
Mm, I don't really remember that.
Okay.
Mm,
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. It was a string array, but
Okay.
let us go through it in details here. So
Okay.
we have 7 days, and for each day we have a temperature, a single different temperature, which is high temperature. So for days 1 we have 45, for days 2 44, for days 3 39, and so on until we reach day 7. So it means that we have 7 different high temperature values for each day. Okay,
Mm,
and then um, if we want to do operations on that temperature, like we want to know the average temperature, we want to know the highest or lowest. So if we create a variable for each value, so it means that we need to create 7 different variables. But
yeah.
what if the values is 1,000 temperatures that we have? Do we need to create 1,000 variable? Does this make sense that we have to create 1,000
Mm,
variable? And handling 1,000 variable and getting average of that 1,000 variable is actually a tedious operation that is almost impossible, and there will be a lot of errors. So you see here, he already put the values that is related to the temperature in a square brackets, and we call that an array. So this is an array of integers, and he managed to get the average temperature. Of course, we will look into how he managed to get the average here. And then he is able to say that 4 days were above the average. So it means that he are able to do operations on all of them. We will let us see how that works actually. So internally, I think if you can still remember the string, so this is an array. This is the array values that we have. And this is the index of the array. So always arrays start from 0. Can this relate to you to anything? Have you seen something like that before?
Yeah. I remember this, yeah.
Okay, so at index 0, we know that the value is 12. At index 9, we know the value is 3. So if we have an array that starts from 0 to 9, it means that the size of the array is 10. Or we can not, let's not say size, but we should say the length of the array is 9. Okay, so okay, this is how we actually declare arrays. This is the form that we do it. Last time we use here, instead of integer, we use a string. And here also we use a string. But again, that works with everything. So we have a string arrays, and we have also integer arrays, and we have double arrays. All are created in the same way and the same concept. So you have to say the data type first, and then the name of the variable, okay, and then new. You use the word new, type, and then the length, okay. So once you create an array of a specific length, you are not able to actually change that length at all. Okay, now have a look here. Can you look at this kind of code and tell me what do you understand here?
Okay. Okay.
So data is what? The name data here. What is this? How we should call?
That's like the array lab, basically.
Okay. So this is a variable name that is
Yeah.
associated with the integer array. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about that? Why this?
This
why
will
we
be
need
the length.
Okay, but isn't it strange that he have to do this operation like that?
Yeah, so he's trying to calculate what the length is, right? So,
Okay. So when we start initialize an array like that, each element get a 0 equivalent value. So for integers, you find that it is 0, and if double, it is 0.0, and if it is Boolean, then it's false. This is by default. And if it is string, it is not null. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, please have a look at this example and tell me if you understand anything here.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
It's clear? Easy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what about here?
Yeah, okay.
So double and Boolean, there is no issue. Clear.
Yeah.
But do you understand why only these two have values?
Correct. Yeah.
And why this only have values?
Yeah.
Okay. What about here?
Yeah.
Clear?
Yeah.
Okay, what about here?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, can I understand from you what do you really understand here?
It's basically the same thing as the previous ones. It's just this one is a point, so it has an X and Y coordinate. So that's why it's two values
Okay,
instead of
so
one value.
the point is a data type of what?
Of the PTS point is the data type of the point array lah. The
Okay, so okay now,
yeah.
Yes, it is. Yes, you are correct. It is a point array, but the point itself is a data type, and it is a class data type. Is it
Yeah.
clear? Clear.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you able to write that code? I think
Okay.
you have a point class, and I believe you also have a student class. If the point give you an error, replace it with a student class. So
I
replace
don't
that data
have
type.
I only have a student class. I don't have a point class.
Never mind. Then do it with a student.
Okay.
It's all the same. Yeah.
Okay. So I write this as a method or
No, just go to inside main
okay.
and then write
And I
these
write
3
this.
lines,
Okay.
replacing the point with a student. All occurrences of
Okay.
point should be replaced with a student.
So like instead of putting point in bracket, I put student
Yes,
uh
exactly.
bracket PTS equals new student 5 and PTS 1 equals new student 2 3. And equals 20. Okay, so I get an error saying that the integer cannot be
Okay, allow
converted
me,
to string.
no problem. Allow me to please see your code.
Okay.
I just want to warn you that
Yeah.
the point class have an X and Y inside, but the student
Yeah.
class does not really have X and Y.
Yeah.
Have an ID and a name, if you can remember. It's a
Okay.
constructor, so we have to provide the proper constructor values.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So go and see inside the student class what kind of constructors that you have, and make sure that the parameter, your input match the parameter data types.
Yeah, so ID and name. So that means I guess that this should work, right? If I go back to yeah. Oh, I need this to be in the difference. And here I'll just put that. That is all good. Sustainable constructor. Oh, right. So I'll need this, right?
Yes.
As a constructor.
Yes, but can you look at the student class? I think we also created one constructor with maybe only one parameter. Yes.
Yeah, we did one
Okay.
constructor with
So
this and
we use both of them. So we use one time with 2 parameters and one time with same like the example. Can you go to main again?
okay. Okay.
Okay. So you used here on line 135 one constructor.
you want me to only use
yeah, no,
name.
fine. What you have done is 135 is okay. Well, on 136, you need to only put the name because he take only, yeah, just put any name. Okay, fine.
And then run?
Yeah, you can run.
Okay. It is.
Is it running correctly?
Should I print out my
What do you want to print out? Okay.
my 1 and 4 is
Yeah, yeah. Why not?
then I can see what input comes from it. There you go.
Okay. So, but my question to you now is that, well, let me not confuse you yet. Just let me just clarify one thing, that when you created or when you look before at the arrays that is from integer, double, and strings, actually inside the array itself, we used to store 0, 10, 20, and so on, these integers, okay? But when we talk about students, we don't put the values inside the array, we put a reference. So it's we put the memory address. We put a memory address where our student class or object is actually stored. So we don't, integer is a very small data, and 20 also is very small data, but student, it's actually a complex data type. Complex data type that contain a lot of integers inside. You might have 20, 30 integers inside the student class. Okay, so we are not able to find suitable space to just insert them in the array like that. Internally, we use a reference, which is like the address of okay, no, I think you don't understand what I'm saying. Am I right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a bit confusing.
Okay, good. Imagine that you are having a file inside your house that you create a list for all the information about your friends. Or imagine you are not the one who keeping this file. Imagine this is a school, and the school have files, have information inside inside one file. They have 30 students, and for every student, they have the name and the address details, for example. Okay, so inside the file, am I putting the student himself inside the file, or I am just putting an address for the student? So when I say I have a file of all the information about the students, or I can say this file is for 30 students. So does this mean that this file that the school keeps have all the students inside in physically? No, they have an address of the students or information about the student. So the address means that I know your house address, but I don't really put your home or your address itself inside the file. Does this relate to you somehow? Does this make the concept a bit closer?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know that this is new concepts. It will take time for you to digest. Again, I would say that because we didn't study in details computer science, so it will just take some time, and we will keep digging deeply, little bit by little bit, so that we don't confuse you more and more. Now, I think you can off your share. Let me continue sharing.
Okay.
So, okay, if we are not careful, when we're using the index, we can end up with some errors that is called out of bounds. I believe that you have seen something like that. Can you see this code and tell me what is the issue here?
it can't be -1, and it can't be 10 also because they're not in the index.
So that's quite interesting, and it's very nice. In Java and in these new languages, they actually show you an error when you do this kind of thing. In previous
Yeah.
languages like C++, actually you damage the code. The code will still work, but so memory locations. So when you created this array, the
Yeah.
Java actually reserve for you memory 9 or 10 memory locations like that. Starting from here, there will be data for other data type for other variables. When you try to access this position, actually you will get data, but it's not related to the array. And sometimes it will break your code, but it will run. It will still run, but you will see funny things happening in your code because you are accessing different areas that does not really belong to your array. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. What about the code here?
Yeah, okay.
I want to understand, what did you understand from here?
Oh, okay, yeah. So you take the number 6, so they will look into the index number 6, which is 2. Then they will take that 2 and look in the index for that number 2, which is 11.
Excellent, excellent. And what about X?
X.
We are storing 42 inside which index?
You are storing 42 inside X, which is index 3, because X is X equals number 1, so which is
okay, excellent,
which is number 3. So yeah,
excellent, very smart boy. Okay. So the most common and suitable way of going through an array is a for loop. We can do it in a while loop, but the best is a for loop. Can you look at the code and tell me if you can understand anything?
yeah, okay,
Clear? No issues?
yeah.
Okay, then what did you understand if I said this?
So this will only call the even, like it will call 2, 4, 6. It won't call, like it will only call 2, 4, 6, 8, like the index.
But
Well,
wait,
there is no 8 lah.
the I is fixed. The I is the index.
Oh,
But this is the value that he's going to store inside that specific index. So for index 0,
so the value will double.
will double, okay, except for 0.
Except for 0, yeah.
Okay, so it will look like that.
Yeah.
And is it 14 double 7?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, to get the length of the array, we actually use length like that.
Mm. Okay.
So do you know what is meant by lens?
Is it just isn't it the same thing as
Uh-huh.
as the earlier example? Isn't it the same thing? Is just a different way?
You mean earlier example? Which example? You mean the previous slide? You mean?
Yeah, the previous slide. Just instead of putting the number 8 manually,
Yes,
you put
yes,
the length. Yeah.
you automatically retrieve that, and
Yeah.
instead of writing it manually. So
Yeah.
there is no space for mistakes. So if you forgot, then that will actually automatically calculate it for you and put it for you automatically. So there is no space
Yeah.
for errors here. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. And I would say I still would like you to actually let me see here. Create. I think you have to create. Just write this line. Write these 3 lines here.
Okay.
So that I move you to the for loop, and then you are able to write the code directly. You actually no need to
Okay.
run. Just copy this code and write it, and then let me know, and then we move on.
Okay. Okay.
How is it?
Good, almost done. Okay, just the first 4 lines.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let me run. All right, can you go back to the slide? Okay. Okay, new one. Wait, I still get it says int cannot be converted to student, but it's not even. Oh, I didn't. Just to be int. Okay.
You copied that code and you
Okay.
never you forgot to change the student to int, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So done.
Done?
I run it.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course, it doesn't. Nothing happens.
Yes,
I
okay.
run.
So can you do then this while loop? So okay, we close and we open again.
Okay. Okay.